Greetings. I'm Los Angeles Mayor and C40 Chair Eric Garcetti. I'm so proud to join you for the Race to Zero dialogues, and I'm inspired to be a part of this global gathering focused on tackling the climate emergency. We're in the midst of the fight of our lives, a fight for our health, for our planet, for our future, and collaboration is the only way that we can win it. So I want to acknowledge the work of two climate champions, Nigel Topping and Gonzalo Munoz. What you have accomplished in mobilizing leaders from every sector across the globe is nothing short of extraordinary. It's this kind of cooperation that we will use to achieve a zero-carbon future. It's how we'll recover from a devastating pandemic and reimagine a path of sustainability and equity, of good jobs in our cities. As chair of C40, I have the privilege of collaborating with mayors worldwide to accelerate our bold climate actions, hold each other accountable, and do everything possible to make our cities healthier and more equitable. Just over a year ago, I was with more than 80 fellow mayors at the C40 World Mayors Summit in Copenhagen. Together with labor and business, civic and youth leaders, we laid out a bold vision of a global Green New Deal. Today our goals and commitment are the same, but something critical has changed. Now the climate emergency is one of several intersecting crises, a public health crisis, an economic crisis, and in the US especially a reckoning with racial injustice. And through these challenges, C40 mayors have stepped up to meet this moment with bold and creative leadership. Already, thanks to the efforts of C40, more than 100 cities around the world have committed to cutting their emissions at a rate that will make it possible to keep global heating within the boundaries scientists consider safe, 1.5 degrees Celsius. And those cities have matched action with commitments. More than 40 will have already peaked emissions by the end of this year. We also formed the Global Mayors COVID-19 Recovery Task Force to map out the road to a green and just recovery paved on the principles of our global Green New Deal. We know that such a recovery will create 50 million jobs, prevent more than 250,000 premature deaths by tackling air pollution, save $1.4 billion in healthcare costs, and more than halve our greenhouse gas emissions by 2020. But we must act now. We need every city to take immediate and transformational climate action, which is why today C40 and the Race to Zero are kicking off a campaign to invite cities around the world to join us in building a global movement. Our goal is that by this time next year, when we gather in Glasgow, as many as 1,000 mayors of cities, large and small, will stand together, united in our commitment to bold climate action based on the principles of the global Green New Deal. This is an unprecedented moment in human history, and we know we have just a few short years left to make a meaningful change, to take meaningful climate action. And people around the world want us to act with the urgency needed to deliver the future that they want, a future defined by a healthy planet for ourselves and our children and grandchildren, a future defined by equity, by good jobs and clean air, and by livable cities. And I know that together, mayors across the world, together with scientists and business, labor and youth leaders, and willing national governments, can and will build that global movement. We will secure that future. So thank you. Stay safe and healthy,